I'm Adam with the Studio for Teaching and Learning Innovation. I'm the Associate Director for Academic Innovation, and I'm one of the STLI team members working on blended learning at William & Mary. This course is called Blended Learning at William & Mary for a very intentional reason. We have to blend our approach because of the situation we're in and because it gives us the most flexibility. But we're still at William & Mary. I think the key for how we're presenting blended learning using a flipped approach is you have to decide what types of things, what types of learning experiences should be moved outside of the class, online, versus the types of things, the types of learning experiences that should be preserved in class, in the community. So allocating time is really the key to flip. What should be done individually and what should be done in community. So let's talk about a few things that students could do before class, individually or asynchronously, kind of at their own pace, to prepare for that in community or in class experience. One of my favorites, one that I do, is I try to have them look at practical applications of ideas. So yes, I'm going to assign the research paper for them to read or the journal article for them to read, but also I'm going to look for application activities. So that could be case studies, it could be popular media, it could be a little video or a TED Talk. You want to try to find as many modes of information as you can to provide that flexibility. Another great before class activity is to have students connect with each other about the material. And you have to trust your students to be able to do that. Although you could ask them to make a little recording or do something to document that they did this. But the idea is talking about concepts is a different type of learning than reading about them or watching them. So maybe you provide a little 2 or 3 question script that they have to ask each other. Maybe it's a discussion post, but some version of connecting with a peer and discussing content will prepare them for class. So for synchronous learning, you are together in some way, shape, or form. So you might be in class, we would love to be in class together, in person, or you might be having a synchronous Zoom session. And again, you want to come back to what are the stickiest points that you know from your experience in the field and as an instructor. What do they have to really focus on that you can help with? What can you help untangle or illustrate or provide some extra background to? Those are the things you want to do in class. So some of the examples that I've seen really successful have been some small group work where you look at an interesting problem of practice, or you might look at a specific story or narrative, or in the sciences you might even look at some simulations or some history of the experiment that's coming up. And then in small groups you discuss that and then you share that out with the rest of the class because you're getting multiple voices. Another good one for in class is a moderated discussion where the instructor becomes the moderator. And you can say, Mark, what do you think about this idea? And Mark responds, and then you redirect and say, Roy, do you agree with that or do you disagree? You allow the discussion to take place because that truly can't be done in that same fashion outside of class. Zoom's a powerful tool and it's getting better all the time, so the breakout rooms help you do that. But don't forget you have the chat feature too. This is a strategy we call back channeling. It's the idea that there is a separate thought pattern or discussion happening along with what's happening in the main crowd or the main class session. So use that to your advantage because your students are going to do it anyway. You really want to know after class if the class they just had was effective. I find that very valuable. And so a quick diagnostic of what went well or what was clear, what was unclear will help you as the instructor respond. With this course, we are trying to help professors, help co-educators, staff, everyone understand that we can be at William & Mary and still be blended.